Hey guys, this is Project Dave playing some Diablo 3. Last D3 video was 5 years ago. I guess that was when, sometime around when People Necros came out. The stream has like 6K views, which was like a 6-hour stream. Playing the hardest difficulty at the time for the story. Which is Torment 13, now it's Torment 16. But D3 is even easier than it was before, so we thought D3 couldn't get any easier. Well, Blizzard said, I accept your challenge. But it's still fun, so whatever, I guess. I'm just kind of making whatever build works with what stuff I find, plus the... Oh, the season set is the one I wanted to try out miraculously, so that gave me a little bit more motivation. However, I don't really have any time to play, so I could play it today, unless a key comes in the mail. Then I have to go do that. So maybe I'll play for 2 days. We'll see. So should I do D3 nostalgia talk or Wolong talk? I guess both is fine. I've got like 6 minutes to talk, and then the rest of it will just be more gameplay. So D3 when it came out was very pay to win, and also functionally impossible. Basically, the Inferno was like Inferno is basically like, what if every single mob in the game was an impossible arch nemesis mob? For a PoE comparison. That's why arch nemesis felt very much like early D3. And I think I was top 20 in the world to beat Iswal. So to give you some reference, Iswal has a Frost Nova that hits the entire screen. And it will one-shot every... I'm playing Demon Hunter at this point. Every Demon Hunter in existence will get one-shot by this Frost Nova. And it is instant cast. So you just have to gauge based on the last time he did it. And also the boy Tyrael. This is another crazy thing about D3 Inferno. The boy Tyrael does like 20,000 DPS by himself. That might not sound like a lot, but at the time, that's quite a bit. They did nerf Tyrael eventually, but it's funny. So maybe I didn't kill Iswal that early. Perhaps it was Tyrael by himself. So basically, you have to dodge a Frost Nova that's instant cast, hits the whole screen, and one-shots you. So good luck with that. That was how you beat that. That's Inferno. That's a good explanation of Inferno right there. It's the hardest any action RPG has ever been, and it's mostly on accident. Like it's all based on predatory practices. Like the loot is dog shit. Because they want people to use the auction house to spend money to buy stuff on the auction house. So the loot sucks. Everything hits impossibly hard, like really ludicrously hard, to the point where basically everything in the game one-shots you after Act 2. Unless you've spent thousands of dollars on the game. Which sounds like Diablo Immortal, I guess, but Diablo Immortal A, nobody wanted to play it in the first place. In the case of D3, it's the best-selling PC game of all time when like a week after it comes out. So that's D3, which is one of the famous Jay Wilson things. He's like, "You can hate on me all you want. We got the fucking best-selling game of all time. Suck my cock." That's Jay Wilson attitude. Eventually stepped down, but it was a funny, entertaining bit for a while there. Essentially, Inferno is a MMO sort of thing, like the Sleeper from EverQuest, or the way Sunwell completely obliterated every top guild in the entire world until they all merged together into like super guilds. But there was only like 3 guilds left standing, so basically the entire raiding scene died. Those things, and Warhammer. Warhammer is more of a fairly niche thing, but Warhammer and DOC, the way the PvP, the world PvP happened in those games, that kind of stuff. All those things are just things that will not happen anymore because of game design logistics, essentially. Nobody's ever going to design something as bad as D3 was at launch. In theory, D4 fans may be holding out for something. But D4 is probably just going to be very, very easy a la current D3. But original D3 is the most ludicrously impossible, stupid shit that's pay to win at the same time. It's like a beautiful, beautiful catastrophe, launch D3. Current D3, it's whatever, it's just a really easy game. It's fun. Fun, very easy game. Which is no big deal. I mean, certainly on a mechanical level, PoE is actually kind of popular right now, but it's popular because there's nothing else like it. So you can take PoE, you're not going to make a game as complicated as PoE. So you're not going to like beat the leveling system, but you could get like halfway to the leveling system and then just make everything else not suck ass, and then you've got a way better game than PoE. So PoE is easily improvable upon. But you can never go back to D3 Inferno. That's just not a design concept that will return. Okay, apologies for the cut there, but I was talking pretty coherently, so I figured I might as well keep going with the commentary. So this is a genre that is easily improvable upon with things that are obvious as far as how you would make improvements. I mean, fundamentally, the baseline is don't make it pay to win. That's it. PoE is also pay to win. It's just cheaper to pay to win for most people. But so on console you can just use JSP for PoE and nobody's gonna bother you. You're never gonna get banned. But on PC, the way to not get banned is to be a guy that buys microtransactions. They won't ban you if you use microtransactions. So basically, you can real money trade if you also buy stupidly expensive $540 microtransactions from PoE. Then they won't ban you because you're stupid enough to buy that microtransaction. So that means you're stupid enough to buy every single microtransaction to put out in the future. So good job, genius. Now you're immune to bans. So that's obviously pay to win. Does this matter? Well, on PoE, the competitive scene only cares about SSF, so the RMT aspect is irrelevant. So RMT probably only affects like PoE Ninja gear score, for lack of a better term, which is, what does your DPS number say? Which is essentially a completely meaningless thing. Maybe eventually they'll put in some super duper impossible boss that can only be beaten with perfect gear that costs 10,000 divines or 20 mirrors to make. Like they'll put that in the game so that 2 people can beat it. And maybe the idea here is that it will take Lighty and Nick Exile longer to beat it. Those are the only 2 good players that play PoE in the whole world, by the way. Everybody else is shit. Just 2 good players. So maybe they'll take 3 days to beat it instead of 5 seconds. And then in general, no one will beat it, other than people that buy gear with money. Those are the only. So this is kind of analogous to how Inferno was supposed to go. but because Inferno was such like A, there were so many people playing it. B, it was such a shot in the dark wilderness moment.
No.
There was a lot of dissemination on the of information on the internet at the time, but it wasn't like now.
I'm unable
So,
to get it open.
no, I guess even now, based on how many views some of my PoE videos got last league, even now the dissemination of information is pretty fucking slow. So maybe you can do it again. Who knows? There's never going to be anything quite as uniquely weird as original D3, though. That's the core of my point here. Okay, I think I got to the end of my eloquence, but I did a pretty good job. Hooray. This event doesn't really give that much experience, it just gives you a big kill streak number. The Briarthorn Cemetery is much better of its own volition. So Wolong, I am going to buy it if I don't get a review code. It appears that the original review code form that I filled out like a month and a half ago or something was depreciated, so I never actually used it, so I had to fill out a new form. That would probably be the main reason why I wouldn't wind up getting a code. But if I bother enough people continuously, I could probably still get one. Will I be motivated to do that? Neo 1 has 400,000 views of my channel, approximately, across like 270 videos, so I don't know I'll make that many videos because RE4 is going to come out. And again, I might get a review copy of that. I'm certainly going to get it a day early, but will I get it a week early? And RE4 is much more likely to do well on the whole, but Wolong is doing better than expected, so who knows? Anyway, that's it for me talking. Basically, if I have to buy it, it will be at like 3 p.m. or something. Day of release, which is Friday. But thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.
This world can abide you no
I'm afraid
longer.
not. I'm afraid not.
Decay and rot.
I cannot do that. That is not possible. Not enough essence.
Your death nears.
I must wait longer. Not enough essence. I must wait longer.
This world can abide you no longer.
I cannot do that. Not enough essence.
All must serve the sun.
I'm afraid not. I have long waited for this knowledge.
The rifts, and you will be well rewarded.
fine corpse. Can abide you no longer! All must serve the cycle. I must wait longer. All must serve the cycle. I must wait. embraces you.
The Rift God!
You have triumphed. My name is when the you I am skilled at clarifying gems.
I am returning to town.